Track as well. It's Fubar Radio. It's 11:30, the UK's largest online ad-free radio station. Let's talk about train travel now, which, producer Natalie, is my preferred form of transport, is the rail.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I've tried most of the infrastructural options, the road, the walking with shoes, with men's shoes. I've tried the airplane.
The Segway?
What's the Segway?
The little thing that you go around. Have you ever seen Arrested Development?
No, do you know what?
That's a little thing,
do you know what? That is as yet untapped as an option.
Well, give that a go.
But currently, the front runner is the rail because I particularly like long rail journeys where I know I'm going to be there for sort of 5 hours because I get really comfortable and I settle in. I basically set up camp.
Get your eggs out, I bet.
I do get my eggs out. I do, as you know, I like a boiled egg.
You do, yeah.
I'm like one of those people. I'm like a young pensioner because I've got Tupperware.
Yeah.
We've got sandwiches. We've got snacks. A lot of thought's gone into it. Crosswords. Yeah, I don't want to. I sound like a bit of a. Do you know what I mean? It's almost a bit.
Elton John's
a
greatest
bit
tips
weird.
on the old,
So I look like one of those weird, pervy old men.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why has he got a crossword book? That's just wrong.
Not
In the current climate, that's not right.
Not Sudoku even.
Not even Sudoku.
Sudiku.
But do you know what? There is one snag about rail travel, which is how ridiculously expensive it is. And I can fly to Salzburg with Ryanair for less than it will take me to get to Newcastle if I want to go tomorrow. It's bonkers and crazy. But the great news is there's an amazing new website called trainsplit.com who are helping to get the prices right down for their customers. The founder, or one of the founders of trainsplit.com is Mike Richardson, who joins us on Fubar. Hi, Mike. Great to have you on the show.
Hi, thanks for that.
Mike, tell us how it came about and just what kind of deals we're talking about here.
Okay, well, if you split ticket, it does split ticketing. So if you take your journey from London to Newcastle, instead of buying the through ticket, what you can do is, or what our system does, is it goes and looks if you buy a ticket, or we buy it for you, between, say, London and Peterborough, and then Peterborough and York, and then York and Newcastle, and if that combination is cheaper than the through ticket. Now, what we're finding is that over 40% of journeys, there is a split ticketing saving. And on average, we're saving 20-25%. So you can definitely get cheaper train travel by split ticketing.
Well, I know that you are inundated with demand for this, and the figure floating around is an average saving of 22% on each journey, which is a vast amount of money. Up to, as I say, hundreds of people, thousands of people are on your website. However, won't the rail companies just close this loophole and then it's game over for train split?
No, because all their fares are sort of semi-controlled by the government and this thing called the fares basket, and they're only allowed to put them up by a certain percentage, like inflation plus 1%. So if they start putting some of the fares up, it would mean that others will have to come down to make the overall basket the right amount.
I love it. You're a revolutionary. You're like Stelios on rail.
Disruptive, yes.
You are. You're the Michael O'Leary of a train carriage, but hopefully with better manners. I mean, it's a brilliant idea, and hopefully, obviously, it's a business for you guys, so you will grow your business on the strength of this demand, I would have thought. It's not a charitable organisation.
Well, there's no card fees and no booking fees, so like people get on train operator sites. But what we do is we charge a percentage of the saving that we make from split ticketing. So we take a cut of what we save you, and we just hope that we can save your listeners masses of money on their rail travel, and like you, they can make the train their preferred method of travel.
Definitely, it's the trainsplit.com. You've probably got an app on the way, I would have thought.
Yeah, hopefully.
So are you also concerned that other operators, other websites and go-betweens such as Trainline will just sort of steal your idea?
No, because you see, those guys, they provide the booking engines for the train operator website. So, if you go on Virgin's Train's website, it's the Trainline's booking engine. So they don't want to risk that business of supplying their booking engines to the train operators by getting involved in split ticketing, which needless to say, the train operators aren't desperately enamoured with.
I'm obviously you're on the side of your customers and the consumer, which is good news. The hard-pressed consumer. The only other concern is: are we not going to be starving the rail companies of the income they need for new rolling stock, repairing tracks, and also new rail lines?
No, because if you reduce the price, right, you can increase the demand, and that's the key. That's what the industry has got to do.
Yeah.
It's got to get more people onto trains, particularly the long-distance market, like London to Newcastle, and compete better with air. So, because rail is better than the planet, and compete better against driving and coaches, and that's what the industry has got to do.
You're right. You're right. The genius of Ryanair and those other low-cost airlines is that when was the last time you flew Ryanair and the jet wasn't completely full? And that's actually very sensible, particularly on a train.
Exactly. So, next time, or if any of your listeners are on a train and you're sitting there and on one of those airline seats and the seat next to you is empty, you've got to think that your ticket is actually paying for that empty seat.
Yeah, no, it's a really, really interesting thing, and it's a really, really great idea, and demand is obviously going to grow. Just a final question about our general rail infrastructure. I mean, first of all, do you have a view on HS2?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of money, but I think it's a good idea. We need more capacity. This country, unlike America, which is so big it needs flights. This country suits rail.
Yeah.
Rail for travel. Rail is better for the environment, get people off planes, get people out of cars, and so we need more capacity. The government is investing a lot of money, and they are putting more of the onus on passengers. But that money is going to increasing capacity, better trains, better stations, making the network better, and because that is the future of travel in this country.
Definitely, I completely agree with you. The future is on rail. I'm sure that's true. And what's good is that Train Split will hopefully do more to funnel us onto trains and to see the great, great advantages. Mike Richardson, keep up the good work. The website is trainsplit.com. Is that right?
That's right.
Super
Thank you very
duper.
much.
Great having you on the show, and I know you're tight for time, so we'll let you go. There we are, one of the founders of trainsplit.com, Mike Richardson. What a brilliant idea.
It is, yeah.
And it's great news for all. That's because I'm one of the few people that is a fan of the low-cost airlines.
Oh, no.
When I say fan, I mean everyone's a fan because everyone uses them.
Yeah.
But most people will travel with particularly Ryanair, maybe EasyJet, Flybe, and moan.
Yeah.
About the fact that you have to pay for a sandwich, or maybe the customer service is not quite, what you'd expect or what you'd like to have. But I don't agree, because I think what those companies have done, including Ryanair, is they've democratized travel to the point where people on lower incomes who previously couldn't dream of flight being their option, and going to southern Spain, now can.
Do you not find you're a tall person, as am I, though? Do you not find maybe the only one thing I have a slight problem is I couldn't probably go for longer than 2 hours because there's just not enough leg room at all?
I mean,
unless you get the
long haul
RC.
on Ryanair would be
God.
just like, basically you might as well go in a cattle crate than sit on one of those planes. Definitely, although they are very cunning. You see, they're so genius because they got rid of all the magazine racks that are normally on the back of the seat. And also, what is good about Ryanair and EasyJet is that you can't move the seats anymore.
No, that's good. That's
and
great.
that is good.
Yeah.
I hate a bit of that. It's
So
the
do
most
I.
passive-aggressive thing someone can do. Is
Because then you all kind of have to do it, don't you, in order to get any room at all?
It's a domino effect
Yeah.
of cuntish behaviour.
It is, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a, well, I don't know. I need an expression, but it's a kind of cunt domino.
Coming to you this Christmas.
See,
New
only
game.
on Fubar Radio. That's what you guys are getting. You don't pay for this even. You don't pay for
No.
this. So, it's Fubar Radio. It's amazing and brilliant to have you listening to Fubar at 11:39. A brilliant